So Tekken 8's been out for about a week now, and I figured I'd just give my opinions on it, my honest thoughts on it. You can call it a review, you can call it a first impressions, you can call it whatever you like. It's just my opinion and my opinion only. So let's start off with the content. I do believe content's very important, especially for a casual fighting game fan like me. Offline content's very important. And after Street Fighter 6 came out, and I said I'd be pretty much gauging all other fighting games against it because it was a great example of how to do offline content. Tekken 8 fares pretty well. It fares better than Mortal Kombat 1, that's for sure. But there's still a few things that I'm kind of surprised were omitted, but let's get to what is actually there first. So first off, we have the story mode, which I'm not going to go into because I want to avoid spoilers, and I'm going to give it its own dedicated video for that anyway. So then you have Arcade Quest, which I find to be pretty fun. It's definitely not going to go easy on you, so it's a great way to learn the game, and I've been really learning how to play the game. Not to mention, if you've never played a Tekken game, this is a great one to start with because there are so many tools. Like the training mode's really good. They have this replay function if you go online where you can watch your replays back, and it will tell you what you did wrong, what you could have punished with, and how to do these combos and all that stuff. And then the training mode has all the frame data you could want and all the settings you could want. And I've really been using that to get a lot better. And Arcade Quest will definitely put your skills to the test. Then we have Super. No, it is called Super. I believe it's called Super Ghost Battle or something. And that's pretty fun. That's another one where you can fight against your own ghost data or some more CPUs to unlock some cosmetics. Which, by the way, unlocking cosmetics, great thing to have. That's, with Street Fighter 6 getting crazy with its monetization and Mortal Kombat not being much better. Yeah. Nice to see that someone out there has some integrity. You can actually unlock all the cosmetics. But I will say there's not as much cosmetic options in this game as compared to Tekken 7, which is kind of disappointing. Hopefully that changes. But anyway, then you have the arcade mode, which is already better than Tekken 7's because it has 8 fights instead of 5. Though I will say, once you clear the story mode, you unlock some new final bosses in that mode, and they are pretty cheap. I thought fighting games were past the whole final boss is incredibly cheap kind of thing, but no, apparently not. Oh well. Almost makes me kind of wish I didn't complete story mode. And then, of course, you have the versus battle and the practice battles and, Tekken Ball, which is pretty fun. But some things that I'm surprised that were omitted. How come we don't have a Tekken Force mode? It's in story mode, basically. There's this whole chapter where there's basically like a Tekken Force game. So why isn't that like a separate mode or anything? I don't know. Maybe that'll be added later. There's still no team battle, which I'm surprised. Old Tekken games had that, and some other fighting games still have that. So kind of surprised it's not here. Oh, also in arcade mode, Arcade Quest, there's no way to rematch opponents quickly. Whether you win or lose a battle, you can't select rematch. You just automatically always go back to the arcade, and then you have to talk to the person again if you want to rematch them, which can take a while with the loading screens and everything. So I don't know why there's not a rematch function. That should be standard. I mean, you can do it in Super Ghost Battle, so why can't you do it in Arcade Quest? That should really be patched in. Anyway. And then, what was I talking about before I went on that tangent? Oh yeah, Tekken Force mode not being in there. No team battle, no Tekken Force, no survival either. There's no, and I don't know why. A lot of fighting games don't have this anymore. And I always liked survival mode, but for some reason, I don't know, are they hard to program or something? They just don't have them anymore, despite them being a thing in old games. So yeah, I'm kind of surprised that's not in there. But again, who knows? Maybe they'll add some stuff in later on. Anyway, let's get to the gameplay. That's the content. I would say overall it is pretty good. Arguably not as good as Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 6 does have things like team battle, and it has a couple other things. Plus, it has a whole world tour mode and stuff, which provides hours of content and stuff. So I'd still say Street Fighter 6 is the gold standard for content in a fighting game. But the gameplay is good. Tekken's gameplay has always been good. It's definitely different. It's way more aggressive, and with the new mechanics like the heat and all that stuff, the chip damage, the health recovery, there's a lot to learn. But like I said, this game really teaches you all of it and does a pretty good job of it. And it's not too hard to learn, really. It takes a lot of practice, obviously, as with any game, but it works really well. I really do enjoy it. Do I like it more than the older Tekken games, which were not as aggressive? I don't know. I usually tend to go toward more aggressive fighting games like Dead or Alive and stuff like that. And since Dead or Alive is pretty much dead in the water now, or ironically, dead, not alive, this is, I guess, all right. You know, it was a bit of a risk. You know, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, this is broken, that's broken, this needs to be nerfed," blah blah blah. And I'm like, it's the first week, guys. Give it some time. Like this happens with every fighting game. Something comes out and then it's like, "Oh, this is broken and stuff." But then people just learn to play around it or play with it, play against it, blah blah blah. It's like it'll be fine, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure changes are coming too. Nothing's perfect when it first comes out, but I don't know. I feel like people always jump they jump forward a little bit with what needs to be nerfed and what doesn't. But it doesn't matter to me. I'm never going to go online anyway. I'm just having fun. As long as the game's fun, I don't care how unbalanced it is. And a lot of people used to not care about that either. Look at Marvel vs. Capcom. But, I guess people expect more from Tekken, because Tekken was always kind of probably one of the more balanced fighting games out there. But with all these new mechanics and stuff, all these crazy combos that you could do and all that stuff, it's like, yeah, you can get... You guess like wrong 2 or 3 times and you're like dead. I've seen some pretty insane stuff. Then you add in like wall combos and stage hazards and stuff like that. It's like you can do some crazy stuff. I think competitive will be interesting to see. But anyway, overall I would say after a week of playing, not only do I really feel like I've gotten a lot better because I've been labbing and all that other stuff, but I feel like this game is just really good overall. And hopefully it will just get better when they add new characters and hopefully more content and customization options and stuff like that. And hopefully not too out of control with their monetization. That's the only thing that's keeping, I'd say, Street Fighter 6 from being like near perfect. But yeah, that's my opinion on it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments and I'll see you next time.